Welcome to your gentle flow and deep stretch practice. If you want to grab a couple of blocks, feel free to do so. And I do not have a strap with me today, but I do have this little blanket thing. For a strap, you can have anything. It can be a towel, a t-shirt, an actual strap. So if you have something like that that you want to use, go ahead and grab it, leave it close by. We may or may not actually end up needing it, so all good. And have me start off in Supta Baddha Konasana. If you want to go ahead and cue up your music, it's a great time to do that. And then lie down on your back. Let the soles of your feet come together, your knees hang comfortably open, and your heels in towards your sits bones. And then I do this little kind of shimmy movement where I draw my shoulder blades a little bit closer towards one another underneath me. It allows for your heart to lift just a little bit higher and your collarbones to open just a little bit more. Now your hands can rest on your belly, your heart on the ground. In this opening moment, almost like an opening shavasana, looking for some comfort, right? For some sweet spots. So that you can rest into the space, step out of your morning, your week, your plans, and just slow it down for a moment, right? Stretch out the body, relax your mind. Allow for your eyebrows to soften and to actually fall away from one another. And then wiggle your jaw from side to side, and then let it just go slack. If your shoulders started to creep back up towards your ears, relax them back down again. And then turn your attention to your breath. The natural inhale and exhale that occur in your body. Although at some point you might begin to deepen your breath so that it moves into something like Samavriti Pranayam, your even breath, where the inhale and the exhale match both in duration and intensity. So maybe exhale, completely empty out your lungs. And on your inhale, allow for your breath to travel all the way up. And then exhale, it empties back out, nice and slow, controlled. Inhale, feel the breath travel up through your belly to the middle of your abdomen, up towards your chest, and maybe it passes through your clavicles all the way up to your throat. And you exhale to soften and to empty back out. Let's take one more just like that. Inhale, your breath travels up. And exhale, it softens back down. Inhale here. You can choose to use your hands or not. Exhale, bring your knees together like you would the pages of a book. Let your feet come down to the ground. And let your low back really soften down to the earth for a moment so you release out of your lumbar spine. Inhale here. And then exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. You could wrap your arms around your shins, relax your shoulders back and down. And then start to wiggle your knees, your thighs side to side. You turn your face in the opposite direction from your knees. So you start this gentle supine twist. You're just rocking kind of side to side. And then the next time you come back through center, open your arms out to a T, inhale. Exhale, drop your knees all the way to the right and turn your face to the left. Your right fingertips could land on the outside of your left thigh, but it's early in practice, so it's not that we need to really press ourselves any deeper at this point, right? Just waking up your spine. And then
And nice and slow, inhale one knee through center at a time. Let your low back come back to flat first. And then exhale, drop your knees to the left and turn your face to the right. And we typically try for both shoulders to be flat on the ground, but if you would have to like give yourself a chiropractic adjustment to make that happen, then be okay with a little slight lift of the right shoulder here, right? It's okay. But maybe you would lift your knees a little bit, right? And maybe the right shoulder would go down. Playing around with what's going on in your body. Now inhale, slowly come back through center. Let your low back go flat first. And then exhale, let your left foot come down to the ground. Your left knee is still bent. And hug your right knee in towards your chest. Relax your shoulders back and down. You can stir your right thigh bone around in the hip socket a little. Just get some gentle movement here. And then go in the opposite direction. Good, y'all. And then come back into center. Inhale here. Exhale, press your right foot up into the sky. Interlace your fingers around your right hamstring. Relax your shoulders back and down. And then you can roll out your right ankle if you choose. You can draw your right thigh bone in a little bit closer. Slide your hands towards your right calf. If this feels like a lot already, I want you to bend into your right knee and release a little bit from your hamstring. Keep both hips and your low back flat. And then we all inhale here. Exhale, bend your right knee to a half happy baby. Peace fingers to your big toe. Maybe hands to your inner or outer arch of your right foot. And let your right knee come towards your armpit as you breathe here. Take your time moving into this space, your hips, your groin, your collarbones are still broad and open as you breathe. One more inhale here. And then exhale, take your right ankle over your left knee, your left thigh. Figure 4. Your right palm can press lightly into the inner thigh so that you're kind of gently moving your knee away from your torso, aiding this external rotation of your right thigh bone. Yeah? If this is what fits like a glove, you stay here. Otherwise, inhale. And then exhale, let your left thigh draw in towards your chest, flexing both feet now. And then interlace your fingers around your left hamstring and let your right forearm nuzzle into your right inner thigh. And you can be absolutely still here. You could take little rocking motions side to side. Do relax your brows and your jaw. Breathe here. And as you breathe in, know that you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know that you're breathing out. One more inhale here. And then exhale, drop your left foot down to the ground, but keep your figure 4. Inhale, open your arms out to a T. And then exhale, drop your knees over to the left for a figure 4 twist. And turn your face over to the right. Now your right knee can stay pointing straight up. You might draw it in more towards your torso or gently press it farther away from you, getting more into the hip, yeah? So maybe you kind of play around with all 3 and see which one takes you where you're trying to go this morning, right? Or whatever time it is that you take this. For me, it's morning. Notice if you start to hold your breath. And then without judging, without anything at all, just realize you're doing that and then stop. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale completely. Inhale, bring your knees back through center, nice and slow. And then exhale, extend your left leg long and cross your right ankle over the left. So it's like a twisted root. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, your left hand can find your right wrist and you gently start to do a side bend. You could just leave your arms up and over and stay right here. If you want to intensify, you start to slide your shoulders up and over towards the left corner of your mat. You might kind of slide your heels over as well. Keep your right hip flat. Inhale, really lengthen through your right side body, y'all. And then exhale, just kind of stay and be. Relax your shoulders from your ears. On your next inhale, slowly unravel. Come right back through center. Find a full body stretch. You could interlace your fingers, flip your palms towards the back wall, arch your low back. And then exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Relax your shoulders back and down. And if you like that little rocking side to side, do it. And then let your right foot come down to the ground with your knee bent and hug your left leg in. Relax your shoulders. Interlace your fingers around your left shin. And then you can stir around your thigh bone if it feels good, right? You can also just be still, so you do you. And I don't know, nothing is different, nothing has changed, nothing... But I feel really grateful and happy to be here with y'all today. I don't know, I feel light. I hope at the end of your practice today you feel light. And if you don't, that's okay, yeah? And then circle your thigh bone around in the opposite direction. And then come back into center. Inhale, hug your leg in. And exhale, extend your left foot up into the sky. Give it a little flex. You can roll out your left ankle. And then relax your shoulders back and down as you gently start to draw your left thigh in towards your chest. Remember, you can take a bend to your left knee. If you feel like this is pulling around your left knee or your gluteal fold, then you need to bend, right? It's all good. You could slide your hands up towards your left calf. Relax your shoulders back and down. Pull your leg in a little bit closer. Just be here. Try to keep both hips flat, your low back down to the ground. And as you breathe in, you know you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know you're breathing out. One more inhale here. Exhale, happy baby. Bend, half happy baby. Bend your left knee. Take your peace fingers around your big toe or your hand to the inner or outer arch of your left foot. If this is too much, your left hand just comes to your left hamstring and you hold it here with your left elbow resting down on the ground. Never forcing, pushing, or pulling. Flex your left foot towards the ceiling. Good, y'all. Just a couple more breaths here. Relax your brows, wiggle your jaw. And then inhale here. Exhale, release your big toe. Cross your left ankle over your right knee, right side. Let your left knee gently press away from you. You can use your palm into your left inner thigh. Find that figure 4. And then if you're wanting more, you need more, inhale here. And then exhale, draw your right thigh in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers around your hamstring or your right shin. Relax your shoulders back and down. Flex through both feet. And notice the nuzzle of your left forearm into your left inner thigh. That additional pressure opening a little bit more through your left hip, your left groin, all that good stuff. And you breathe. You can rock side to side a little bit. You can be still. Take 2 more breaths here. Allow for your right foot to come back down to the ground. Keep the figure 4. Inhale, open your arms to a T. And then exhale, drop your knees to the right. Turn your face to the left. Figure 4 twist. Your left knee can stay lifting up. It can reach more towards your right elbow or press away. You choose. Maybe you try each one out so you actually know which one you need, right? Or that you like the best. I invite you to not just do your default, which is what you always do, and maybe try something else out and see if that gets something different for you, right? And breathe. Relax your shoulders from your ears. And see if you can find some ease in something that maybe doesn't feel easy, right? Maybe this feels great. I don't know. On your next inhale, bring your knees back through center. And then exhale, extend your right leg long. Cross your left ankle over the right ankle. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then maybe exhale, right hand circles left wrist. You might slide your shoulders over to the right a little bit. But we do want the left shoulder, left hip to stay down. So keep opening through your left side body. Notice with your inhale how your bottom floating rib, it lifts up and away from the top of your right hip. So really creating some space there for your left side lunge. So take a full capacity inhale. And then completely exhale. Empty your lungs. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, unravel, come back through center. Take your full body stretch. And then exhale, happy baby. Hug your knees in, bend your knees, and bring your peace fingers to your big toes or your hands to your inner or outer arches of your feet. You can rock side to side. You can be still. Breathe. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. Slide your hands behind your thighs. Let's take 2 or 3 spinal rocks and rolls, finding the full length of your spine as you rock forward and backward. Keep the low belly pulled in so you round your low back. It doesn't slap against the earth. Perfect. And then on your last one, just come forward. Cross your feet at the ankles. And sit up nice and tall. So Sukhasana, find your seated position, roll your shoulders back, and then root your sits bones down to the ground. Stack your vertebra one on top of the other, kind of like a staircase, and then roll your shoulders, lift your chest, open up your clavicles. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, interlace your fingers, flip your webbing, your palms towards the ceiling. Inhale, get a little bit longer. Reach your spine longer.
And then exhale, fold forward. So take your chest on top of your legs and reach your arms forward. Maybe your forehead comes down. It doesn't have to. Breathe here. And then inhale, lift your arms back up, shoulders over your hips. Exhale, release your hands and bring your hands down, maybe heart center. Now inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Your palms are pressing. Exhale, open arm twist to the right. Let your left hand find your right thigh. Your right hand comes behind your hip, kind of like a second spine. So you inhale, lengthen, roll your right shoulder back. Exhale, gaze over your right shoulder. And then inhale, rotate back front and center. Reach your palms up. And exhale, open arm twist to the left. So your right fingertips find your left leg. Your left hand comes behind you. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, lengthen, get a little bit longer. And then exhale, maybe your gaze goes over your left shoulder. Good. Now inhale, rotate back front and center. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, drop your right hand down. Reach your left arm up and over and get a side body stretch. So it's our second, maybe our third time to really move into the lateral opening, right? And then inhale, reach both arms high. And exhale, your left hand down, your right arm reaches up and over. Perfect. Drop your right shoulder from your ear. Now inhale, reach both arms to the sky. And then exhale, take your elbows back and down and lift your chest. Good. Now inhale, arms up, reach. Exhale, hands to the ground. Let's find our box pose. So you might have to kind of shimmy back a little bit. Find that space, yeah? And get yourself nice and situated. Stack your shoulders over your elbows over your wrists, and then bring your knees underneath your hips. Inhale, drop a soft belly down, lift your chin, lift your tail, find your cow pose. And then exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back and drop the crown of your head down. Inhale, rounding down, let your belly drape. There's a sway to your low back. Press your heart forward. And then exhale, reverse. Dome out your upper back, drop your head down, tuck your chin, tuck your tail. Last one just like that. Inhale your belly down, lift your chin, lift your tail. And then exhale your belly up, dome out your upper back. And then inhale back into your neutral spine. And then exhale, let's kind of sway it around a little bit. Find some hip circles, that Sahaja movement, where you move according to your body, which means it's probably not going to look like what anybody else is doing. It's going to be exactly what your body needs in this moment based off of the feedback that you're getting from your body. If you went into circles, make sure that you go in the opposite direction as well, right? And just kind of move around. Find that space. All right, then we all come back into our box pose. And then inhale, extend your right leg long behind you. So you're in a 3-point balance. Dial your right pinky toe down so you're spinning your thigh bone internally. Inhale, reach your right heel back. Now as you exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hip, yawn it open. Now let's circle it out. Bring your right knee towards your right elbow and then open it back out. So looking for a rotation in your ball and socket joint of your hip. You got it. And then go in the opposite direction. Circle it out the other way. All right, y'all. So from here, re-extend your right leg long. Drop your right foot to the back of your mat. And then rock forward and backward over the ball mounds of your right foot. Stretching into your right calf. As well as all that fascia between your toe pedals and your feet, yeah? All right, now stack your shoulders over your wrists. Let your right heel go flat. Left palm roots to the ground. Spin your left toes towards the long edge of your mat. And then inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. So you're in a modified side plank. As you exhale, reach your right fingertips towards the top of your mat. So really root down into your left palm. Stretching through the right side body, getting into your shoulder, kind of the armpit area. Press actively into the outer edge of your right foot. Very nice, y'all. Now, reach your right fingertips back to the sky. As you inhale, lift your shoulders over your hips. Perfect. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Now inhale, reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, drop your right fingertips towards your right knee and reach your left arm up and over. So now you're stretching through the left side of your body. Draw the slight pit of your belly in and up. And if you feel this in your low back, so I'm actually showing y'all the back side today, I don't normally, but if you're feeling this in your low back, I want you to take the top of your pubic bone, draw it slightly up towards your navel so you feel this area in your lumbar spine lengthen rather than contracting, get compacted, right? Perfect. Now with your inhale, bring your arms back up overhead. On the exhale, drop your left hand in between your shoulder blades and let your right hand find your left elbow. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, hinge towards the right again. So now stretching your tricep, your left side body, and your left, kind of your psoas area. So for those of you who know Jennifer Usher at Uptown Yoga, I got this move from her. I'd never done it with the tricep stretch in this particular shape. And it feels really nice. All right, y'all. Nice and slow. Inhale, come back up. Reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale, windmill your hands down to the front of your mat. Curl up your right toes. Pivot onto the ball of your right foot so you can lift your left knee. And let's meet right back into our box pose. Now inhale, let your soft belly drop down. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And then exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back and drop your head down. Just one cat-cow so that we kind of start it back over, right? Now, neutral spine. Inhale, extend your left leg long behind you. Lift it to hip height. Dial your left pinky toe down. Pull the pit of your belly in and up. Now, as you inhale, really press your left heel back. And then exhale, bend your left knee. Stack your hip, yawn it open. And then we start to circle this around nice and slow, controlled. Rotating through the ball and socket joint of your hip. And then you'll go in the opposite direction. Move with your breath. Nicely done. And then inhale, extend your left leg long. Exhale, drop your left toes down to the ground and then rock forward and backward. Moving through your left calf muscle, the toes, the ball mounds, all that good stuff. And then we stack our shoulders over our wrists. Let your left heel go flat. Lift your right toes, spin them towards the long edge of your mat. They're going to actually come off of the mat, right? Your right toes, but they're in the direction of the long edge. Now your right palm roots down to the ground. Inhale, float your left arm up to the sky. So your modified side plank. Stay right here. And then exhale, reach your left fingertips towards the top of your mat. Really press down into your right palm, your right finger pads. And then seal the outer edge of your left foot to the earth. Feel the stretch of your left side body. Breathe here. Lengthen your spine. Good, y'all. Now take your left fingertips back to the sky. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up overhead. And then exhale your hands down to heart center. All right. Inhale, float your arms out and up. And then exhale, drop your left hand towards your left knee or shin. Reach your right arm up and over as you exhale. Slight tuck of your pubic bone up towards your navel if you need to lengthen your low back. Breathe here. Relax your right shoulder from your ear. Good, y'all. On your inhale, reach your arms back up overhead. Exhale, drop your right fingertips between your shoulder blades. Let your left hand catch your right elbow. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, hinge to the left. Find a stretch through the right side body. Again, it's going to feel a little bit more intense now that your right elbow is bent. Keep pressing into your left foot. Breathe. You might have to squeeze energetically through the inner thighs so that you're staying lifted and find some balance and stability. And then inhale, reach both arms back up. Ooh, let that go. Exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. Now pivot onto your left foot so that you can lift your right knee, and then find yourself back into your box pose. Inhale, let your belly drop down to the ground. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And then exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back and drop your crown down. Inhale to your neutral spine. Curl up your toes. Exhale, press your palms down. Lift your hips up and back. And find your downward facing dog. You can sway your hips side to side. Let your chest drapen towards your thighs and let your head hang completely down. Let everything go. And then you inhale, bend into your knees to look forward. Exhale as many steps as you need to take your feet to your hands. Leave them about hip-width distance apart. And then inhale, lengthen your spine. Crown of your head forward, tailbone back, belly up. And then exhale, ragdoll. Bend your knees, drape your chest over your thighs. Let your hands grab opposite elbows. And then you start to sway side to side. Good, y'all. Let your hands come back down to the ground. Inhale, roll yourself up one vertebra at a time. Take care of your back. Nice and slow. Your head's the last thing to come up. And then roll your shoulders exaggeratedly back and down. And then inhale, reach your arms out and up. And exhale, hinge right back down at your hips. Inhale, lengthen halfway. And then exhale, bring your hands down, step your left foot back and soften your left knee down to the ground. So your right knee tracks the heel or the ankle. And then inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Good. All right, so from here, interlace your fingers like we did earlier and flip your palms back towards the sky so the webbing is up. Now inhale, lengthen, and exhale, hinge to the right. Feel the stretch through your left side body. Squeeze your inner thighs towards one another. We're not staying super long. If this is too much, release your right hand to your right hip for support, right? It's perfect. And you just keep breathing. Pull the pit of your belly in so you don't overdo your low back here. And then inhale, bring your arms right back, shoulders stack. Exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. Inhale, pull your heart forward. And then exhale, shift yourself back. Straighten your right leg, flex your right toes back towards your shin. Now, if you prefer to lift your left knee into a pyramid pose, by all means, right? You don't have to leave your left knee down. This is just maybe for some more accessible with the left knee down, unless you have left knee issues, in which case you probably prefer your left leg lifted, your left knee lifted. So if you can inhale, lift your chest. Think of your clavicles moving towards your right ankle rather than your nose towards your knee, and then slide your navel towards your right thigh bone and allow your right hip to pull back, left hip forward. And then just kind of do you, be there, right? We joke around about how we're always like, do what feels good. I've been saying this for a while, and then I'm like, but your navel needs to be at 45 degrees, and your right big toe should be at, I get particular. I just want you to know what you're doing so you know what you're doing. And then from there, you feel it out and change it and make it yours, right? Now inhale, walk yourself back forward. As you exhale, bring both hands to the inside of your right foot. Once again, lift your left toes and spin them towards the long edge of your mat. And so moving it like into a modified side angle. Your right knee tracks your heel or your ankle. Your right hand is down on the ground. Inhale, lift your left arm up to the sky. Some of you might need just a little bit more, so you'll heel toe your right foot a little bit closer to the top of your mat. And then breathe. I'm going to give you an option to stay right here or to bring your hands down, both of them, and to walk your hands forward, almost like a down dog sensation in your upper back. As you take your hands about shoulder width distance apart, drop your forehead down towards the ground and drape your chest back towards your groin. And breathe. Nice, y'all. Take one more inhale. And then slowly slide yourself back as you exhale. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Spin your left toes back towards the back of your mat. So you're actually in kind of a low lizard, right? Heel toe your right foot back towards the center of your mat. Frame your front foot. Inhale, curl up your left toes. Lift your left knee. Pull your belly in and up. Exhale, giant step forward. Your left foot meets the right. Uttanasana, your forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Take the crown of your head forward, your tailbone back, your belly in and up. So you're tabletopping your back. And then exhale, fold it down, let it go, let your head hang. Maybe you turn your face side to side. All right, y'all, let's catch the second side. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, step your right foot to the back of your mat. Soften your right knee down to the earth. Inhale, shoulders over your hips, arms up over your head. Exhale, interlace your fingers, flip your palms towards the ceiling. All right, inhale, lengthen your spine as much as you can. And then exhale, hinge over to the left. Again, if this is more than what you feel like doing, left hand to your left hip for support, and continue to reach your right arm up and over. And as you breathe in, you know you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know you're breathing out. Perfect, y'all. Now inhale, take your arms back up overhead. Exhale, release your hands and frame your front foot. Inhale to pull your heart forward. And then exhale, shift yourself back. Ardha Hanumanasana, your half split. Straighten your left leg, let your toes flex back towards your shin. Again, option to take pyramid pose, lifting your right leg, your right knee, if that would feel better in your body today, right? And then if you need a bend in your left knee, you take it. And let your left hip pull back, right hip forward. Breathe through it. Good, y'all. Let's take one more breath here. And then inhale, walk yourself forward. Exhale, bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot. You might heel toe your left foot over a little bit. Inhale, lift your right toes. Spin them towards the towards the long edge of your mat. And then exhale, really bend into your left knee. Your left palm roots, and you inhale, reach your right arm up and over. And stay for your exhale. So same thing goes here. You can stay right here or bring your right hand back down to the ground. Walk your hands kind of towards the diagonal, towards the right. And arms are about shoulder width distance apart, and you drape yourself down. Think downward facing dog sensation in your upper back. Your left knee ideally stays right over your ankle, your heel. And you breathe. Awesome, y'all. one more inhale. And then exhale, start to walk your hands back. Bring your hands under your shoulders, lift your right toes, spin them back towards the back of your mat, and then heel toe your left foot over. Curl up your back toes, lift your back knee. It changes here. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, straighten your left leg, and then walk your hands over to the right. So turn all 10 toes towards the long edge of your mat. And then your toes are either parallel to the long edge of your mat or they're slightly pigeon-toed. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then exhale, fold yourself down. So Prasarita Padottanasana, your wide leg forward fold. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Let the crown of your head hang down. And then if what you really need today is to hold that, be my guest. I'm going to do a little bit of movement. So walking my hands back out underneath my shoulders. Inhale, lengthen my spine. And then exhale, turn my toes slightly to the left, bend my left knee. Inhale, lift, come back through center. Exhale, toes slightly to the right, bend my right knee. So it's kind of a high skandasana. And I'm just going to move side to side, right? You could just leave your toes turned out if that feels better to you. You just want to make sure your knees, your ankles, your toes are all pointing in the same direction so you don't torque your knee. So nice, y'all. And then when you've evened out from side to side, inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, flip back over your front foot. So left foot, you're back at the top of your mat. Inhale here. And then exhale, step both feet to the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, bring your hands back down to the ground. Heel toe your feet out to about mat's width distance. Heels in, toes out. Bend your knees and drop your hips down for Malasana Yogic Squat. So stack your shoulders over your hips. Relax your brows, and you can kind of rock side to side. Breathe. And then let your hands come back down to the ground. Inhale, lift your hips, turn your toes forward. And exhale, melt your chest to your thighs. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Soften your left knee down to the ground. Inhale to pull your heart forward. Exhale, heel toe your right foot over to the left for your half pigeon. Let your left leg extend long behind you. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, fold yourself down. So your right shin could be up to parallel with the top of your mat. Your right heel could come all the way in towards your pelvis, or really anywhere in between. Breathe here. And if you would rather do this on your back, the way we did at the beginning of class, you have that option as well. So supine, reclining, half pigeon. You do you, right? Breathe in. And out. Slide your hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift your chest. On the exhale, rock over to the right so that you can bring your left leg around. Moving into double pigeon if it's there for you today. Stack your left shin on top of the right. If it's not, you can grab a block and place it in between your right ankle and your left thigh or knee. You could also cross your left leg in front of the right and just take a cross leg sit. Either way, find that space that works for you. Know where you're at. Sit up nice and tall. Roll your shoulders back and down. You can bring your hands out next beside your hips. You can bring your hands behind you, lift your chest. You could also walk yourself forward. So you kind of find the space that you have to breathe in and find something that you can get comfortably uncomfortable, right? And that's perfect. Relax your shoulders from your ears. Breathe through it. There should be no pain in your knees though, so both feet are flexed if you're in double pigeon. And if you do feel something weird in your knees, then you back out, right? And just take a cross-leg sit. Don't push it. Y'all walk your hands back up, lift your chest, and then unravel. Bring your hands behind you, feet to opposite edges of the mat, and then windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Yeah, release out of your low back. And then come right back through center. Bring your feet together. Walk your hands behind you. Come on to both feet. Hands out in front of you. Inhale to lift your hips. And then exhale to forward fold. Let your head hang down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step your right foot back and bring your right knee to the ground. Inhale, pull your heart forward. And then exhale, heel toe your left foot all the way over for your half pigeon. Let your right leg extend long behind you. Inhale, lengthen, lift your chest. And then exhale, fold yourself down. Let your right hip feel heavy. Flex your left foot. And again, no pain in your knee, right? So if it would feel better to you to take this on your back and cross your left ankle over your right knee, feel free. Breathe here. All right, slide your hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale to lift your chest. And then exhale, rock over to the left. And swim your right arm around. Cross your right shin on top of the left. Or cross your right ankle in front of the left. Now, theoretically, with double pigeon, your ankles kind of clear the knees, right? They're not resting on top of, but you know, you'll get there at some point. If it's not there today, don't worry, it's not a big deal. Now from here, hands can either come back behind you, you lift, maybe you just press your palms down outside of your hips. You can also walk forward if it's available. It's going to intensify what's happening in your hips, so just know what you're doing so you know what you're doing. Breathe. Feel this release from the low back as well. And don't stress if double pigeon isn't there for you and you're crossing your feet at the ankles. That's exactly where you should be. If you eventually do want another posture to open up to you, we have to go unlocking those doors as we get the keys, right? So no attaching to getting there, because it's going to unfold exactly how it's supposed to anyway. That's everything. That's not just your mat. That's life. That's all of it. It's going to unfold the way it has to unfold. Our job is to just put forth our best effort doing the next right thing and the next and the next. Accepting and acknowledging that we can influence, but we cannot control. All right, y'all. Start to walk your hands back if you folded forward. Lift your shoulders over your hips. Rock back, hands to the ground one more time. Take your feet to the side edges of your mat. And then windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And then come through center. Bring the soles of your feet together, your heels in towards your sits bones. So Baddha Konasana. So heels in towards your pelvis. Your hands can catch your feet. Inhale, lengthen your spine, roll your shoulders back. And then exhale, hinge at your hips and fold forward. Release out. Let your neck be long. And then slowly come up, one vertebra at a time. Yeah. And then bring your knees together like you would the pages of a book. Hands support you. Shift your hips forward. And then roll down one vertebra at a time until you're flat on your back. Now here, bring your feet out to the side edges of your mat. And then knock your knees together for a moment. And find a collapsed bridge. Release out of your low back. And then bring your feet underneath your knees. Point your knees up to the sky. Hands down next to your hips. And inhale, lift your hips up into the sky. Find a bridge pose. Just here for a couple of breaths. Countering a little bit everything else we've done. And even in this space, as you breathe in, you know you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know you're breathing out. Soften your knees down towards the ground. Open your arms out to a T. Inhale. And then exhale, drop both knees to the right. Turn your face to the left. Now inhale, come back through center, but let your low back go flat before you move. And then exhale, drop your knees to the left and turn your face to the right. One more time, each side. Inhale through center, but let low back lengthen and flatten. Exhale, knees to the right, turn your face to the left. Inhale through center, flatten. And exhale your knees to the left, gaze to the right. Inhale, come right back through center. Exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest, and then press your feet up to the sky, legs up the wall. You're more than welcome to bring your feet back down to the ground, lift your hips and slide a block underneath your sacrum. If you would like supported waterfall. Good, y'all.
Let your feet rest here. Roll out your ankles if you need. You can draw figure eights on the ceiling if that feels right. Kind of release out of your low back. And then if you do have a block underneath your low back, you'll bring your feet down to the ground first so that you can lift your hips and slide it out. Then we all inhale. Exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest and bring your forehead up to your knees. Inhale one time here. And then exhale, extend your legs forward. Let your feet hang comfortably open, your arms out by the side body. Palms face up. And rest. Let the bottom side of your body be heavy, grounded, it's rooted. The top side is light and weightless, it's floating. And rest, rest, rest. If what you need is to be here a little bit longer, you're going to tune me out and stay right where you are. Otherwise, begin to deepen your breath and wiggle your fingers and your toes. But honestly, if you are still in Shavasana and resting, that's the beauty of doing this from home. You can stay there. So please, if you need longer, ignore me. Otherwise, inhale, float your arms up overhead. Find your full body stretch. And exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. And you'll either rock over to the right or roll up to your comfortable sit. Just cross legs, Sukhasana. Once you're there, roll your shoulders back and down. Lift your chest. And then take that final moment, that pause, to be grateful for your body, for what it does for you today. Finding gratitude for the fact that you slow down sometimes and restore your body. It's necessary. It has to happen, or your body eventually will force you to do it, right? Thank you all so much for rolling out your mats today. Hope you have a great rest of your day at whatever time it is that you take this. Namaste.